But once it comes out, it will be out on iTunes. It'll be on Amazon, Amazon Prime, Vimeo. It's going to be on 65 different VODs around the world. But here's where it won't be. It won't be on Hulu. It won't be on Netflix. It won't be on any of those. And here's why. Let's say I sold my movie to Netflix, which is a possibility. I could have gone right there and collected a huge check from Netflix, and they would take my movie. But there's no guarantee. Once they do it, I can't put it on all of those other VODs. I can't put it on iTunes or Amazon Prime or anywhere else. They now have complete control of my movie because they gave me a huge check. Now, most people would love that huge check, right? But not me. And here's why. Once they have it, if there's anyone there who's against meat, someone that might be associated with PETA, or the vegan, that real vegan stronghold, they can, they don't care about giving me a check for whatever, six-figure check. What they care about is no one ever seeing that movie. They can give me all of that money and then bury that movie. Crazy, right? But that's how far it goes.
I want to go back to, look, Netflix has become completely censorious. It's frightening. Another utterly damaging big company in the United States. They refused No Safe Spaces, the political documentary of the year last year.
Which was excellent, by the way.
Thank you very much. It is excellent. I have no problem saying it, and I don't take credit for it, even though I'm in it. Anyway, that's a very bad, another bad road. Big tech has gone down. Back to you, though. I want to the extent that you're free to mention it, I'd just like to understand, I asked you if you have been personally threatened. Is this a rare thing? Is this something that is somewhat constant?
It's for me, it's rare. I think everyone looks at me as this weird kind of cowboy. They know that I have a concealed carry. I'll make that very, very plain and out there. I'm a gun enthusiast. So I get left alone, but I'm not really left alone. I do get threatened now and again. But I'll look around and look at what happened to MD and PhD Professor Tim Noakes, who tweeted one tweet. And this was in South Africa. They put him through a trial that cost the taxpayers there millions of dollars.
What did he tweet?
He won hands down.
What did he tweet?
He tweeted to a mother who had taken her kid off of breast milk, wanted to know if it was okay, what she should feed him. And he said, you should feed that kid meat and vegetables. And this was seen as a threat because he had mentioned meat. I know this sounds bizarre, and you might go, Vinny, you're making this up, but Alan will be the first to tell you that this is absolutely true. He won the first trial, hands down, after they spent millions. And what did they do in South Africa? They went after him a second time. The same sort of thing happened to Dr. Gary Fetke over in Tasmania. So if you think this is just the United States,
it's not. It's anywhere they speak English.
Yeah. So in Tasmania, this guy he is a doctor who was chopping people's limbs off because they were getting type 2 diabetes. And, of course, when the legs start abscessing and everything else, you have to cut limbs off. He figured out that if you take people off of sugar and give them more meat, that he wouldn't have to operate anymore. And he was told to stop doing that, and he wouldn't stop telling people to eat meat and to cut sugars out. And they took his medical license away. It's been, because he was in my movie, Fat Documentary 1, they've restored his license since then. We don't know if we had anything to do with it, but here's a more bizarre. Dr. Ken Berry, right here in the good old United States, his building, his doctor's office was burned to the ground. The fire marshals could not find how the fire was started. It was a very hot fire, and they burned his building to the ground. He wrote a book called Things Your Doctor Doesn't Want You to Know. he also advocates for meat and less sugar, less grains. If that's not bizarre enough, about 4 weeks after that fire, his home burned to the ground.
Oh, my
Again,
God.
they could not find anything. They couldn't find how it got started. The whole thing just incinerated. So if you think this is Vinnie just being paranoid or goofy or anything else, I don't think so. I just gave you 3 wonderful examples of how this happens all the time.
I have 0 horses in this race. 0. But everything I read leads me to believe that meat is good for you. I have no great love of it. I don't dislike it. I'm neutral. But I do care about your health. And had you folks listened to me from the beginning about carbs, a lot of people might have avoided type 2 diabetes.